Hello and welcome everybody to another Edge of Eternities draft. I'm Paul Cheon, and today we're at 98%. We are percentage gamers. We have been struggling a little bit to kick things off, a few 2-3s in a row, which is not common. But of course, there is still plenty to learn in this format, and I'm excited to take those learnings and turn that around to wins, hopefully, in this video. Now, before we hop into this draft, just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want Edge of Eternities booster boxes, or you wanted some singles for your constructed decks, like your standard, modern, or commander decks, go to TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, check out heavyplay.com for all your Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. You need deck boxes, you need playmats, you need sleeves, everything you need to make sure you're ready to go for your next tabletop gaming experience. Heavyplay.com is the place for you. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. They're also at basically every Magic the Gathering convention, so swing by their booth, tell them Paul sent you for 10% off in person as well. Alrighty. I need a bomb to just like bail me out, right? Just because we've been having so much difficulty. Okay, we have Pain for All, which is an interesting, I mean, it's a fine removal spell. I guess I can try this. It's just a nice way to kill something. There's also Fell Grab Ship, which is okay, but I'm definitely lower on just almost all the spacecrafts in general. But yeah, I mean, I'll take this. It's a fine removal spell. I'll try it, though, just because it's a rare that we haven't really gotten to play with too much. So, you know, being able to kill your opponents also is very, very nice. Moving on to pack 1, pick 2. I'm not a big fan of Terminal Velocity. I just think it's a super high variance card. I can put a creature from my hand onto the battlefield, and then when it dies, it basically kind of wraths the board. But sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. There's also Sammy, Ship's Engineer. This card's really interesting, and I kind of want to try it out. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, you make a tapped 2/2 robot token, which can be pretty nice. There's also Depressurize as another good removal option, and I think those are kind of the 2 best considerations. There's also the Infiltrator. All right, let's take Ship's Engineer here. Maybe we can try something. Maybe we can try some Boros here and see where this goes. But of course, I am happy to make adjustments as we see fit. Pack 1, pick 3 gives us Diplomatic Relations as a good removal spell. Germinating Worm is fine. Selfcraft Mechan is nice if I want to go into the artifact route, but there's also Seatrip Agrarian, which seems very nice. So I'm looking at the Agrarian. I'm not as high on Hymn of the Faller. So yeah, let's take the Agrarian here just because I think it's the best card here and see where this goes. Okay, well, you know what? We took a little bit of we off-roaded a little bit on the Sammy, but it doesn't seem like that's where we necessarily want to be. There's a Tannuk and a Diplomatic Relations in this pack. There's also Sammy's Curiosity, but kind of interested in trying out Tannuk again. Desculpting Blast is also okay, but given that I saw the Agrarian and see the Tannuk, I do feel like the Landfall deck might be available. So let's go ahead and take that. And then moving on to pack 1, pick 5, there's a Kav Landseeker, there's a Wefstalker Ardent, which I think is a lot better in kind of a more aggressive, like, just a more aggressive artifact-based strategy. Lost in Space is an okay interactive spell. There's Pinnacle Killship. Biosynthetic Burst is a good trick, but I think I'm just going to at least start things off by making sure that I just get a bunch of these land ways to make landers. And that just gives me the opportunity to splash more cards later. So let's take the Kav Landseeker here. This just works really well with what we have going on here so far, which is seemingly a start to a decent Gruul Landfall deck. Moving on to pack 1, pick 6. Nothing that's really good in red or green. 5 mana for 4/5 reach creature. Drix Fatemaker is okay. I don't love it though, but don't really know what else I want to take here. There's the Ilvoy Galeblade. There's a Starbreach Whale. I guess I'll take the Fatemaker, but I don't really want to play this card. What is this? Scavenger Grounds, not particularly strong. That is a pretty late Cryo Shatter, so maybe that's something. There's also a Harmonious Grove Strider and a Thawbringer. I mean, I guess if I'm trying to put a bunch of lands into play, I guess the Grove Strider is just a nice large beater. So, and it's got a ward too, so let's try that. I just feel like the Thawbringer is just a little more replaceable. Here, there's Depressurize. Wow, that's a very late Depressurize. But there's also a Blooming Stinger and a Diplomatic Relations. Now, I'm going to take the Relations, but I really do need a bunch of 2-drops, and hopefully we can pick up some good 2s. But picking up the second interactive spell seems pretty good here. Here, I'll take a Thawbringer. Totally fine playable card. Late Focus Fire, very good card if you're aggro. And yeah, the white card's definitely dried up here, so not worried about that. I'm going to take All Fate Scroll out of this pack. I know the Terminal Velocity tabled, but there is a world where we draft like many different colors, and if I do, then the All Fate Scroll can be good, but I'm not necessarily looking to 100% start it. Germinating Worm is a card that I'm definitely higher on than I was going into the format, so let's see how that one plays out. Just gains you some life, gets you, and then in the late game, it's just just random large green creatures are good in this format. Here, wow, this is a good pack. There's a Plasma Bolt, a Tannuk, and whatever this card is. 2 mana for a 1/3. When this enters, create a lander token. I'm already in. Whenever you sack an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. So Tannuk is nice, but I'm going to take the Biotech Specialist. It's a 2 mana creature that makes a lander, and it blocks pretty well. So let's go ahead and take that for our deck. And wow, another Biotech Specialist. Okay, hey look, Gruul Landfall. Hopefully this time around we get enough things to do in the late game here. Tragic Trajectory is very good. Brewguard Elite and Cov Landseeker are also both fine. But let's start with double Biotech Specialist here. It's kind of exciting. Here we have the choice between Territorial, Bruntar, Biosynthetic Burst, another Diplomatic Relations, and a Dauntless Scrapbot. I was super impressed by this card as a late game card, and last time I tried to draft the ramp deck, I didn't have enough good top end. I know the Scrapbot's very good, but I have double Specialist already. Let's try the Bruntar here over the Scrapbot and the Diplomatic Relations. Let's just make sure we get the very, very good top end stuff for our deck. Moving on to Pack 2, Pick 4. We've seen roughly a million Depressurizes, but not really the type of card that I love on the splash. There's a Slag Drill Scrapper, but that's certainly just like a blue-red artifact card. Desculpting Blast is okay interaction. I don't really need to take Shatter Wings this early. You know what? I'm just going to take this Tenderfoot just because I need 2-drops. And, you could do worse than play this card. So let's try this one out. Just large. Here we have a Landseeker versus a Rescue Skiff on the splash. Guess I'll just take the Landseeker here and not worry about the splash just yet. I will say this is definitely worse than than when I first played with this card. Mostly because the fact that you have to sacrifice the lander card definitely comes up a lot. Here we have Nebula Dragon versus Ice Cave Crasher. And, I'm going to take the Crasher. I have a bunch of lander cards. I feel like this thing hits much harder than it looks. And we'll see how this plays out. All right. Litho Breaking actually seems like it could be pretty nice here. So let's go ahead and take this. Most of my cards don't die to it, which is nice. Pack 2, Pick 8 gives us a Sky Stinger. I'm not really a huge Survey Mechan fan. I think it's a little too slow. So let's just take a Sky Stinger here just to have a 3-mana play, and a Tannuk tabled. All right, Gruul, certainly very open. I have double Tannuk, double Biotech Specialist. And Biosynthetic Burst is also just a totally fine combat trick, so happy enough with all of this. We could also just be straight Gruul. That's certainly something that I can just play. Maybe just try to be a little more aggressive. Maybe cut this. Maybe play the Tenderfoot, Sky Stinger, something like this. In which case, Sammy's Curiosity certainly is not as good either. Pack 3, Pick 1 gives us a couple of really good options. Oh, that's a Strip Mine? I don't actually think Strip Mine is the pick. There's Possibility Technician, which I think is really nice. I also have Kavus, by the way. I have 4 Kavus. So I feel like I'm going to try that. I also want to just try this card out, but this gets you a lot of value. Close Encounter is a really good fight spell, but I have a good number of tricks already. Let's take the Possibility Technician here. Alright, pack 3, pick 2 gives us, wow. Banishing Light, Specimen Freighter, Seam Rip, but for me it's Galactic Wayfarer, Diplomatic Relations, and there's also a Pinnacle Kill Ship here. I think Wayfarer is probably the best common, or one of the best commons in the set, and I can certainly just use like better 3-mana plays here, so I'm just going to take that here over the Diplomatic Relations. Pinnacle Kill Ship is fine, but I don't think I need it here. Pack 3, pick 3, we have Celestial Colonnade, that's a good one. Roving Actuator, which I'm not a big fan of. Gene Pollinator is okay. I don't need a second Biosynthetic Burst, but there's also Orbital Plunge, which is a very good removal spell, and I actually don't have that much removal, so this gives me access to a third way to kill something, which I think is pretty nice. Alright, pack 3, pick 4, we have a Seed Ship Impact. Don't care about Gemstone Caverns, and there's also Germinating Worm. You know, I'm going to try this card. I don't think I need a second Germinating Worm. And this one, maybe I just haven't been giving this enough respect, but being able to get a lander by killing something small and just having a main deck disenchant effect does seem reasonably strong in this format, so I'm going to try this here. I really do not like Debris Field Crusher. I'm slamming this Zookeeper Mechan over Intrepid Tenderfoot. I think it's a fairly easy Zookeeper Mechan there as well. Pack 3, pick 6. Nothing really here for us. Fungal Colossus not particularly good in a 2-color deck. If this was best of 3, I'd probably take like a Drill 2 Deep, I guess. But we'll take the Drix Fate Maker in case somehow I don't get enough playables. Alright, there's a Tapestry Warden, an Ornate Pangolin, which doesn't do much here. I guess I'll take another... I guess, you know what? I want to try the Tapestry Warden. Oh, another Territorial Bruntar. I actually could have used another nice top-end card. Close Encounter tabled? What? Diplomatic Relations tabled? Okay. I guess I'll take another... I mean, I don't need all of those. Okay, well, this is interesting. I don't... I guess I still didn't end up with enough 2-drops, because that's just always my issue. Alright, let's take a look at what we're working with here. This is not a Sammy's Curiosity deck. Maybe I should have taken the other Tenderfoot, honestly. But you know what? The Tapestry Warden got me excited with the Tannuk and the Biotech Specialists and a Zookeeper Mechan. Like, I feel like I have enough where this can be good. Let's cut Shattered Wings. I need to cut 7 cards. Alright, I think I have enough removal where I don't need this effect. We have a million 4-drops. Noting that the Agrarian is like not insane in this deck just because I don't have any spacecrafts. But it by itself is still a pretty solid card. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Alright. Let's cut 1 Biosynthetic Burst. And then just like a bunch of the expensive creatures. I want to try the Warden just to see how it plays out. The Germinating Worm maybe is okay just to let me survive into the late game, but certainly that's also cuttable. Like all the creatures here I like. I'm not entirely sure how good the Warden is, but it's a 4-mana 4/4 Vigilance that pumps 5 of my other creatures, so that seems like there's enough there. Yeah, this is not a Drix Fate Maker deck, I don't think. Definitely want at least one more 3-drop, so I'll play this Thawbringer, just because it has an Enter the Battlefield and Death trigger. And given that I have double Biotech Specialist and double Tannuk, I will play the Landseekers. And I have 2 Landfall cards. Yeah, I mean, look, like I know I'm a little bit lower on this card than I have been in the past, but I still feel like I should play it. And I guess, does that mean we cut these 3 cards? What's our creature count? 19? Yeah, we can certainly afford to cut some creatures here. All right, let's cut Sky Stinger, I guess. And then I guess I need to cut 2 more cards. Like I said, I kind of want all of my 2-drops. And I'm such a creature-heavy deck. I feel like I want... The first Biosynthetic Burst seems very good. And these fight spells also seem good. So maybe I just cut the Crasher here. And then maybe the Worm? I mean, it is just like another random 5-drop, so... Alright, I think this is okay. Like, it gives us a decent curve here. 16 creatures, some tricks, some removal. Landfalling our way to victory, hopefully. Let's see how this goes. Alright, now before round 1 starts, just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons. Really do want to thank you all for your support. Access to the Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really fantastic way to join an awesome community of folks also looking to get ahead of Edge of Eternities Limited. So check it out. All right. 4-lander here. We have a Tannuk, Pain for All, and a Diplomatic Relations. I should have taken the other 2-drop, I think. I think I messed up there. The 2-mana 2/2 that pumps. I think I would have played both. Blue-red artifact deck, Zookeeper Mechan, and we drew back-to-back lands here, which is not ideal. Would have at least liked to have something that I can try to ramp into. Nutrient block, okay. They're keeping up Counterspell, but I guess I'll just play this. Like, if they counter it, they counter it. And I feel like Possibility Technician is a type of card that you generally just want to warp. Oh, by the way, this is a Kavu, which is very nice. But depending on what they play, like, I can certainly just do, like, Diplomatic Relations if I have to. Alright, Debris Field Crusher. That is not ideal. Okay, I mean, it dealt some damage to me. So why don't we go ahead... I mean, is it better to... No, I'm going to warp it. The reason why I'm warping it is I still have a 2-mana play here. Let's see what we hit. Oh, Biotech Specialist. Great. Let's just play that instead. Now let's attack. So this gets bounced, but then I can play it again later for more value. Next turn I can crack the lander to ping my opponent. Like, they're going to take 4 damage, and I'm going to draw a card. Wow. Ornate Pangolin here for the opponent, doing the blue-red artifacts thing. No removal, though, it seems. But we'll see. I guess they had this, actually. But no targets for it. Is my opponent just doing absolutely nothing? Like, what's happening here? Alright, well, let's play a land. Crack this. Let's get another land. Let's draw a card. Okay, we drew a second copy of Diplomatic Relations, which is obviously fantastic. And I guess I don't really have a particularly good attack. And them leaving up all this mana is like a little bit scary, so I guess I'll just play the Possibility Technician. If they counter it, it's fine. I mean, they would have countered it last turn. And we hit a land off of it, which, yeah, sure. I mean, our opponent's at 13. Like, I'm actually just killing them without even attacking, which is obviously a very, very nice place to be. Like, Tannuk plus the Biotech Specialist and a bunch of lander cards is all I need. Pain for all is additional damage too. And I have protection here in the Biosynthetic Burst, so all my spells are looking very, very good. Two cards in hand for the opponent. Alright, there is the Kov Landseeker. Now the question is, do they want to make a 1/5 flyer and just tap out? That seems a little bit crazy to me, but... I think they want to keep some number of blockers back here. Oh, Seed Ship Impact. Fantastic. I can kill the pangolin and get a lander. Oh man, that's so good. So let's play a land. Let's kill this. Let's see what we draw. Oh, this is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Draw an extra card. Okay. And we dealt that much damage. My opponent's now at 5 life. I have 6 cards in hand still. Woo! Alright, all it takes is the Signpost uncommon in Gruul, and then 2 rares. That's all it takes. Easy game, right? Easy game. Oh man, that was great. Tapestry Warden also pumps those 2 creatures. Alright, well, I mean, certainly drew very, very well that game. Our opponent also had, like, no interaction, which obviously was very, very favorable for us. But 1-0 with a nice little Gruul deck here. The only issue is just not enough cheap things, and that's obviously on me. We'll just win every die roll and always draw our 2 drops. Well, okay, I'm going to keep this. It's a 3 forest hand, but I do have a Tenderfoot on turn 2 and a Diplomatic Relations on 3. And if I draw a singular mountain, all of a sudden my hand gets unlocked here with the Biotech Specialist and the Orbital Plunge. So let's keep this here and see what happens. Thawbringer also gives us more opportunities to find red sources. Caveron Harrier is the turn 2 play, a little red-black beatdown. Oh, and we drew Mountain immediately. Alright, I'm just gonna go play the Biotech Specialist now. Like, the thing is, I don't even care if this thing dies, right? It's like, it's a 2-mana 1/3 that gets you a lander. Full stop, that is a very, very good card. But I'll take the 1 here from the Death Toucher. Just because, it blocks the Harrier pretty well. Don't think I want to ramp just yet. Although, ramping does allow me to go Agrarian Land next turn. It's like, the question is, do I want to keep the lander up? I mean, maybe that is good. You know what? I think I'm going to ramp, actually. Like... And we'll just continue... taking 1 for now. Swarm color, okay, that's a decent one. Alright, let's get the mountain. Let's play the Agrarian. Let's play a land. The reason why I'm keeping this back is I don't if they have like a removal spell, they can... Oh, that's so silly. Oh my gosh. Well, alright. Alright, I guess we'll block this now. I mean, they live the dream, right? Swarm color plus threaten. But the thing is, they threatened something that also gave them a lander. I mean, that was just like as big of a blowout as you can get. I don't think I need to kill this just yet. Let's play the Thawbringer here. If there's a land on top, I think I'm keeping it because I have the Bruntar. And let's just play a bunch of stuff. Alright. What's funny is they like missed the land drop, but they sacked the lander. Alright, Slag Drill. Okay, Zookeeper Mechan. Sure. Now do I want to kill the orbital... Do I want to orbital plunge the Swarm color now? Or do I want to play the Bruntar? I mean, they probably have a removal spell. So maybe I want to just keep my life total high. Do I want to sack this now or wait until the Bruntar? Do I just want to play the Intrepid Tenderfoot? Alright, let's just do that. 5 cards in hand for the opponent. The thing is, they're playing red-black, and they're just likely to have lots of different removal spells. And so just playing other spells just seems better for now. Right, they bombarded that, which I'm okay with. And then if they try to pump up the sweeper, then we can certainly just attack for a lot. Okay. Attack with Thawbringer. Bombard. Okay, fair enough. Another Bruntar. I guess I'll keep it. I'm not going to play a land this turn then, because I don't want to reveal this. So we'll just hold on to this, and obviously if they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that was really good. Let's block there. We're at 9. This thing dies. Let's play Bruntar. Let's hold a land for now. I mean, they use their Graph Kill. If they have another removal spell, so be it, right? Like, sure. Right? Like, they had double Graph Kill, double Bombard. They threatened my thing. Not much you can do. I might hold on to this land, because I think I need to kill... I actually don't know what I need to kill. Is it the Mechan? It could be the Mechan, because they can... Well, we'll see what they do. Alright, sweeper down. Okay, alright. So that's good. We drew Relations. Now we can draw a land here. Or we can draw a card. Alright, we're still getting value here. We are still getting value. I'm gonna kill the Mechan here. Because they have 7 mana. And then I can attack, because it has Vigilance. And then we'll play the Mechan. Okay. Now if we draw a land, we can still draw a card off the Tannuk. We've exhausted all of their removal, and they drew a land. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's keep the 1/3 back. All right, they're at 5 life, and we'll pass. Comet Crawler. Okay. I am actually just going to sack this. Because that gives me the mana that I need, I think. Yeah, that gives me 10 mana. So now what I can do is pump the Tannuk and then cast Pain for All. Nice! To the face! Wow, what a recovery. What a recovery there. I did not think we were going to win that game after the way that this game played out. Like, when they killed my second territorial Bruntar, I thought I was dead. So, I mean, we definitely drew out of it there. They had a ton of removal, and they got really close, but just not quite enough. I wonder if it would have been better. I mean, they went for the win, but I wonder if it would have been better if they just, like, went for the +4/+0 on, you know, some other creature. I'm not sure. All right, on the play here. Okay, well, no 2-drops, but that's kind of expected with this deck. But you know what? The hand is excellent here. We have turn 3 Galactic Wayfarer on the play into a bunch of other things. Seed Ship Brute Tender is the turn 2 play for the opponent, so Salt High value. All right. Ooh, their deck looks very good, actually. I'll play the Wayfarer. Like, if I don't find a land next turn, I might just pop this. But yeah, it looks like a Golgari deck splashing blue for a spacecraft of some kind. Thawbringer is a totally fine card. They put a land into the graveyard. And we did not find a land. Oh, that's disappointing. All right, well, I mean, this is like, hitting land drops is just so important. I'm just going to go for the sacrifice of the lander card here. All right, Pedigree Beckoner on Thawbringer. I guess I just take 6. Let's go ahead and get Mountain. This thing gets warped away, so it's not too bad. All right, still no land, but I guess we do have a double spell turn here in Tenderfoot plus Pain for All. Or, excuse me, plus the Zookeeper Mechan. I mean, playing the Mechan and having it live is effectively another mana source. Now I'm a little bit on the back foot, especially because they can play the Beckoner next turn. Let's see what they target. Probably the Thawbringer again. And then I just take 6. All right, still no land. I mean, we have a lot of good cards. I mean, for sure, like, we're potentially, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. But this 4/5 is certainly very, very annoying. The question is, like, do I want to use a Pain for All here? Do I want to play Kov Landseeker? I mean, playing double spell this turn also seems good, so why don't we just go Biotech Specialist and Tannuk? And pass. Although it might not be in a position to landfall anything. Oh, it's really bad that they chose to warp this because it's just like, you know they got something else here, right? Like Drix Fatemaker plus another interactive spell here, and that's probably a little bit too much for us to deal with. It probably is. Okay. Huh. I mean, maybe just attack with everything. No? Okay, so this is a 6/3. Holy cow. And they get to play it again, and it's just like a giant trampler. But I kind of want to get this favorable block. And go down to 2, I guess. Alright. Alright, we're at 2 life. Wait, they killed the Tender? Okay, fair enough. So next turn they can play this and put like a +1/+1 counter on something else. I think I probably should just play this Tannuk. It's another good blocker. Alternatively, I can go Pain for All actually, and maybe I just kill the Thawbringer. Yeah, let's do that. So they get to Surveil. We have 3 blockers. We're at 2 life. And we can sack the lander here. End of turn. Alright, Dauntless Scrapbot. Sure. What did I have in my yard? Oh, nothing. Are they out of action? Okay, maybe. Maybe there's hope. They certainly don't have a good attack here. Alright, let's crack the land. 2 damage to our opponent. Okay, we have a land. Feels like a double spell turn. I can play Agrarian, and then play a land, and then play Tannuk. I like that. Like, I don't care about dealing 1 damage to them. I'd rather have a 4/4, obviously. We are on the cusp of coming back here. No! Ah, darn. Alright. Never mind. They have Dubious Delicacy. They can sack it to deal 3 damage to me. Did you see that delay? You know what that was? They were hoping that we conceded before they attacked. Because we were 100% dead. Alright, well, you know what? I thought we did a reasonable job of trying to come back there. But our opponent had a really nice streamlined value deck. And we just fell a little bit behind. So 2-1. Alrighty. On the play here. Hey, we got a 2-drop. We can't lose. Famous last words. Famous last words. But turn 2 Mechan is incredible. I would play 3 or 4 of these in my deck if I could. Alright, now what do I do? Let us... Let's cast this with Warp. See what we find. Tapestry Warden, okay. So, certainly can't play that yet. But, it's I think I still get to play it if I do play the Technician at some point. Alright, red-white deck from the opponent. Wefstalker Ardent, okay. And that is a Tapestry Warden. I mean, I'm going to play this again. I have other Kavu in my deck. Pain for All. Okay, so they're definitely going to try to kill this thing. Like they have to kill my possibility technician. Because if they do, then I just lose basically 2 cards. Wow, they didn't have it. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Okay. So this is ridiculous. I get to kill the Sunstar Lightsmith next turn too. Because I don't want that to go off clearly. And then let's add a counter here. Set it for 6. Alright, good turn for us, and we have an Orbital Plunge and a Seed Chip Impact. I also have Tapestry Warden that I can play hopefully next turn. We'll see. Oh, that is another Sunstar Lightsmith. Did they have a 1 red card here? Oh, they do! Okay. I mean, that's certainly a thing. I feel like as much as I want to play Tapestry Warden, it just seems so much better to kill the Sunstar Lightsmith here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I have an interesting question. It's like, do I pump this? Or do I sack the lander? 4, 3, 4. Kind of just want to pump this. I don't know, just like this feels like it's almost a must kill now at 4/4, given that my opponent's at 7. And then like next turn I can even pump more. Like I can even make this a lethal creature with the Zookeeper Mechan next turn, right? So alright, some kind of red-white artifact deck here. 3 cards left in hand for the opponent. There's a Zookeeper Mechan. Alright, the Pangolin grows, but of course we can kill the Pangolin, which is very nice. With Seed Chip Impact. I don't know why it tapped the mountain. Okay. Sure. Yep. And my opponent goes to 1. Okay. Well, that's obviously a good place to be. Unless they have, like, a sweeper or something. I'm liking my spot here. All right. I mean, that was just a really good aggressive draw. And you know what? That 2-drop actually played out a little bit better. I mean, it's a fine mana sink, too. So, you know, I was pretty low on that 2-drop. And I think it's... I'm not saying it's good, but I think it's playable. And I should definitely have just a second copy of it, especially in a Landfall deck where, like, at some point in the late game, you have a bunch of mana anyways. So, good hard 2-drops are hard to come by, and that card is a totally... Like, I don't want to play, like, a billion of them, but I think having a second would have been good. On the play, 2 lands, Tannuk, Wayfarer, double Landseeker. I'm going to keep, but obviously, we really, really want to draw a 3rd land. We need to draw a 3rd land or the Zookeeper Mechan. That's what I was going to say. You know what'd be even better? Just another land. Please don't kill the Mechan. Oh, no. Okay. So now we absolutely need a land. Alright. Well. Hey, you know what? This is just Magic the Gathering. This absolutely happens. Let's discard the 5-drop. Alright, here we go. Let's play a Wayfarer. At least we only missed 1 land drop. Do I want to kill the modifier? It's kind of annoying. Also, I get to get in for 4. Like, if I drew a land, I would have definitely just played a Landseeker, but I didn't really have a fantastic option that turn. So just getting this off the battlefield, keeping my life total high seems not bad. Alright, they use the removal spell on my Wayfarer, which is always nice. Alright, well, this is not nice. I guess I'll... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think playing the Tannuk... I think getting a land is more important than getting the Tannuk in play. Alright, let's get a mountain here with the lander. And I did not cheat on lands. Like, I'm playing 17, but again, this deck is very, very mana heavy. Or mana hungry, whatever you want to call it. Alright, I will play the Landseeker here, just to get more mana ramp going. If they kill this, you know, that's obviously, you know, totally fine. It's a thing they can do. Now, if they have depressurized, they can't kill it. My suspicion is they do have some kind of removal spell here. Oh, that's just silly. Yeah, this card is one of the best uncommons in the set, I think. The Monoist Circuit Feeder. This is really interesting, because I'm at 12 life, right? And so, I definitely have pressure on my life total, so I feel like maybe I need to kill the Circuit Feeder here. But I also have a lander token in play. And so that's making me want to just play Tannuk and sack the land. Alright, let's go for... This is like a risky move, but let's go for it. Hoping they don't have a removal spell or something. Maybe they're out of action. Maybe they're out of action. Okay, well this is... I mean, this is just an absolutely bonkers red-black artifact deck. Yeah, well this is... I mean, this is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, I think I'm just gonna get burned out here, too. But... not too much I can do about that. They didn't sack the lander. Oh my god. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, you got me. I mean, this was just... awesome synergy. Like, Circuit Feeder and the Warmaker Gunship are absolutely absurd cards. And we missed the land drop this game, so... it happens. Like, even if I was able to, like, smoothly play out my deck, I think it would have been a lot closer. We would have been at a much higher life total. We drew the main deck disenchant. Like, it would have been a lot closer. But they had a lot of great removal. It's all, like, removal that came into play and did something. And if that's the case, it's going to be hard for us to win. Now, this is certainly a very good hand. On the play, turn 2 Mechan. And they even had the removal spell for the Mechan, too. Now we have the choice of Wayfarer or Tapestry Warden turn 3. Biomechan Engineer, which, you know, not a huge concern right away. I'm going to play the Tapestry Warden. The reason being is I can also attack with the Mechan for 3 next turn. Like, if I don't draw a land, right? If I don't draw a land, that's certainly something that I can do. Diplomatic relations? Okay. Alright, fair enough. Everybody kills the Mechan. So 6 cards in hand for the opponent. Cryogen Relic, okay. So maybe they don't have a land? No, I think they drew a land, because otherwise you don't just lead with the Relic there. At least I don't think you do. Alright, we're getting pretty... I'm going to play Thawbringer and just get aggressive here. Instead of just taking the turn off to get a land. I don't want Close Encounter. Like, obviously, I want a land here more than basically anything. Alright, 5 cards in hand for the opponent. They can play something big for sure. This is their turn to play something that can get them back into this game. Thawbringer is not it. I mean, no, Thawbringer is good. I mean, it does block pretty well. What is your next play? Fair enough. All right, how do I want to do this now? Maybe Pain for All on the Thawbringer and attack with both? Or... So we'll kill that. Attack with both. And then if they block the Thawbringer, then they're going to take 4 more damage and go to 2. Okay. And I have lots of ways to deal chip damage. Oh, never mind. They just take the 2. Okay, I'll keep the... My bad, my bad. Whatever. Getting the Biomech and Engineer off the battlefield still seems pretty good. And having a land on top is obviously nice, because we can ramp our way out of this. Also, this is a menace creature, which is really good. I could have played the Tenderfoot too, but I feel like this puts more pressure on my opponent. Like, if I have a Landseeker in play, they can't really attack me. Right? Because it's a 4-power menace creature, whereas they could with the Tenderfoot. Did they play it or warp it? I think you kind of have to play it here. Another Diplomatic Relations? Wow. Alright. Fair enough. Biosynthetic Burst. Taking a turn off to like double ramp doesn't feel great, especially against a blue-green opponent. But holy, their deck is so good. Look at this. It's like the blue-green dream. Double Codecracker Hound, Biomech and Engineer, like so much value. Okay, Edge Rover. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. It's a 6/4 too. 2 mana 6/4, pretty good. Oh man. I will say there are times where the lander stuff is a little clunky. Or a lot clunky. This is one of those times. So what happens if I, like, play the Bruntar? I mean, it does block everything. I can also play two things here and try to, like, somehow cheese my opponent with a Biosynthetic Burst. We're gonna go for the cheese plan. Who likes cheese? Tannuk also represents potentially more damage if I draw a land, right? If I go like Tannuk, land, then my opponent's at an effective 2 life. So hopefully they're mindful of that and a little bit careful with how they sequence their cards. But of course, if they just have like some big card here, then... Alright, that's a Mechan Navigator, sure. I mean, if they lead with that, I'm feeling not too bad, right? Okay. I mean, obviously, it depends on what else they have. This is tricky. Like, basically, the question here is, like, am I going for the win? Or is there a world where I just block the 6/4 and I take this and I'm okay on the following turn? I don't think so. So in that case, I should be going for the win. So let's just chump block here. We're at 4. Last card in hand. Oh my god. Germinating Worm. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think we have enough here, unfortunately. The Worm was definitely good play. I still don't know why you lead with the Navigator, but yeah. 5 mana, 5/5, gain 2 life, warp. Maybe I should be playing this. Alright, well, sadly, I think my opponent just got a little too much value, and their blue-green deck had good interaction and just really high-value creatures. And I think they're going to get me here. My hope is they don't block. They blocked. All right. We had a decent start too, but this deck was just super duper mana hungry. And it was weird. Like that's one thing that I noticed about this deck where I mean, we at least won 4 matches. Like we won 3 matches. Oh my god. I can just never win. But anyways, I actually thought this deck you know, we had a lot of the good cards here, but the big thing here was just my mana curve. I had a lot of ways to make landers. Maybe this card is... Like, I think this card is fine, but the fact that, like, the play pattern is, oh, at some point, like, turn 5 or 6, you sack your land to put an extra land into play, maybe makes this not as interesting as it looks. It's just, like, as you saw in the games that I played, when I'm sacrificing a lander token, like on turn 4, and I'm trying to beat down, it's just so tough, right? It's so tough. And also a card like the Landseeker, which I think is... okay, put it this way. I think I had this card maybe at like a C+ level card, because in my mind, a 4-mana 4/3 that comes into play and gives you a lander is obviously very good. But... because you have that pressure to sack that lander right away. And if you don't, then a 4-mana 4/3 menace creature is not that good. So for that reason, I think this is more like a C level card. C- if you're not doing the lander thing. So I'm a little bit lower on this card. Tapestry Warden's fine. Vigilance is always decent for various racing situations. My interaction was good. Biotech Specialist is obviously very, very strong. So, but the possibility technician in my deck was also very, very good. So things to adjust for in the future. Just take more tenderfoots, take more cheap things. There's just more than enough of these expensive cards. Like basically don't ever take the Kov Landseeker over anything that's a 2-drop. So like moving forward, that's going to be my play, right? Like if I see a 2-mana 2/2 Death Touch creature, I'm just going to take that over the Landseeker and just make sure that I have the early part of my mana curve covered. And I think I'll just have a much, much better time with that. Perhaps even the Drix Fatemaker. I don't know. The warp creatures seem to be pretty good just because if you don't have something to do early, they provide you with something to do early, and then they just give you added value in the late game. Like, by itself, this card isn't particularly strong, right? A 4-mana 3/2 that puts a counter on something isn't great, but the fact that you can split it up, you can warp, maybe this card is a little bit better than it looks. Same thing with the Germinating Worm. And also, because I had the double Tannuk, like, I wanted to play the Landseeker, but, I mean, I could believe that the Ice Cave Crasher could even possibly be better just because it's better on stats, 4-mana 4/4. If you're red-green and trying to attack, like this just hits people really, really hard. So, you know, maybe that's kind of what I want to be looking for here. But second time trying red-green with another kind of mediocre result. I think we had some good cards, but the deck felt extremely clunky. It's like lander cards don't get better in multiples, because there's only so many opportunities for you to sacrifice them, to use them. So I think maybe the 4-mana effects are not as good, but I think cards like the Mechan and all that stuff is still very, very strong. So I'm still trying to figure things out. I do feel like this was our lane for the most part. I felt like Gruul was very, very open. I just feel like I didn't take the right cards. I do think the Bruntar is a very good top-end card, but I should have just made sure that, like, I could have easily had a Death Touch creature here and another 2-mana 2/2. And if anything, I mean, maybe I should have even played, like, the Germinating Worm as something that I can play early to help me survive into the late game, right? Just to gain me some life. So I think maybe I should have just played the Worm anyways. And maybe I could have cut, like, one of the Landseekers. Maybe I just cut the Tapestry Warden. I don't know. But these are all little things that I need to adjust. And we also played against some pretty solid decks too. So credit to our opponents for figuring out the format earlier than me. I actually liked the Siege Ship Impact. I think Disenchant effects are main deckable in this format. With Spacecrafts, just like most, like my deck in particular didn't have that many. I had a couple of targets, but the fact that this one also kills enchantments is relevant because there are relevant white enchantments, like Banishing Light exists. So I think Siege Ship Impact, especially the fact that when you kill something small and you get a lander, that's really, really strong too. So I think this is a main deckable card. So taking some learnings here and trying to apply that for future videos. We are in a terrible, terrible run of things right now. 2-3, 2-3, 2-3, 3-3. Hopefully we can turn that around in the near future and go back to not embarrassing ourselves. I would like to win 4 or 5 matches or even get some trophies, but it feels like we are a long way away here for the time being. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in a different way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Also, check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy booster boxes of Final Fantasy or Edge of Eternities, or you wanted singles for your constructed decks, TCGplayer.com is the place to go. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, go to heavyplay.com for all your Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. If you need deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.